Hello, and welcome back to Kentucky Crypt Keeper. When you think of Kentucky, what comes to mind? Rolling green hills, the thunder of hooves at the Kentucky Derby, or maybe the smooth, warm taste of bourbon. For many, it's a picture of idyllic American countryside. But tonight, we're peeling back that charming veneer to uncover a side of the bluegrass state that's much, much darker. Because beneath the bluegrass and bourbon lies a history steeped in tragedy, restless spirits, and legends that are terrifyingly real. Tonight, we're journeying into what might just be the most haunted state in America. So, turn down the lights and get ready. You're about to see Kentucky like never before. Our first stop is a place that needs no introduction for paranormal enthusiasts. It's a name that sends a shiver down the spine of even the most hardened investigators. Waverly Hills Sanatorium in Louisville. From the outside, it's an imposing, magnificent Gothic structure, but its beauty hides a past filled with unimaginable suffering. Built in the early 1900s, Waverly Hills was a state-of-the-art facility designed to combat the White Plague, tuberculosis. It was meant to be a place of healing, a beacon of hope against a disease with no cure. But for tens of thousands of people, it became their final resting place. The official records are murky, but local legends claim that over 60,000 souls perished within these walls. As the death toll climbed, the hospital staff needed a way to remove the bodies without alarming the living patients who were already fighting for their own lives. Their solution was as grim as it was practical: a 500-foot underground tunnel originally built for supplies, which was repurposed into a body chute. Day and night, the deceased was secretly wheeled down this dark, damp tunnel and away from the sight of the hopeful. It's no wonder this place is considered a hotbed of paranormal activity. The sheer volume of pain and sorrow seems to have permanently stained its very foundations. Visitors and paranormal teams who dare to walk its decaying halls today report a symphony of the supernatural. The sounds of disembodied moans and coughs echo from empty rooms. Phantom footsteps follow you down desolate corridors, stopping the moment you turn around. On the third floor, people often report encounters with the spirit of a little girl named Mary. She's said to play with balls rolled down the hallway, and her giggles can sometimes be heard, a chilling reminder of a life cut tragically short. Shadow figures are a common sight, darting from doorway to doorway, always just at the edge of your vision. And then there are the EV-PISA, electronic voice phenomena. Investigators, recorders often capture clear, distinct whispers. Sometimes it's a simple warning, a cold voice demanding, "Get out." Other times, it's the lingering cries of those who can never leave. Waverly Hills isn't just a building. It's a monument to the dead, and it feels like they're all still waiting there. From a hospital of death, we travel to a place of entertainment with a disturbingly dark secret. Our next location is Bobby Mackey's Music World in Wilder, Kentucky. On the surface, it's your classic American honky-tonk. Neon signs, live country music, and people dancing the night away. But this nightclub has earned a terrifying nickname: the most haunted nightclub in America. And the stories from behind its doors suggest that what happens here is far more sinister than a simple haunting. The history of the land is soaked in blood. Long before it was a music hall, the site was home to a slaughterhouse in the 19th century. The building's basement contains an old, sealed-off wells, which many paranormal experts and psychics believe is more than just a well. They call it a gateway to hell, a portal where dark entities can cross into our world. It's rumored that satanic rituals took place here in the years after the slaughterhouse closed, further corrupting the land. The most famous spirit said to haunt Bobby Mackey's is that of a young woman named Pearl Bryan. In 1896, Pearl was the victim of a gruesome, headline-grabbing murder. Her headless body was discovered in a field just a few miles from where the club now stands. Legend has it, her killers, who were allegedly involved in the occult, disposed of her head in the basement well, trapping her spirit on the property forever. Patrons and employees alike have reported terrifying encounters. The phantom scent of roses, Pearl's favorite flower, inexplicably fills the air. The disembodied voice of a woman is heard singing, and full-bodied apparitions have been seen on the dance floor, only to vanish into thin air. But the activity here isn't just passive. It can be aggressive, even violent. People have reported being pushed, shoved, and scratched by unseen forces. The most famous story involves a former caretaker who claimed to have been possessed by a demonic entity while living in the apartment upstairs. Even the club's owner, country singer Bobby Mackey, who has always maintained he doesn't believe in ghosts, can't deny the endless stream of chilling stories from his staff and customers. Whether it's a gateway to hell or the eternal prison of lost souls, one thing is clear. Something evil resides at Bobby Mackey's music world. Next, we check into a place where the past has never truly checked out. The old Talbot Tavern in Bardstown, established in 1779. This is one of the oldest Western stagecoach stops in America, and it has hosted countless travelers over its nearly 250-year history. This tavern is steeped in American history. It's said that a young Abraham Lincoln stayed here with his parents, and Louis Philippe, who would later become King of France, was a guest. But among its many famous visitors, one notorious outlaw left a particularly strong impression on Jesse James. The story goes that Jesse James and his brother, Frank, stayed at the tavern on several occasions. During one visit, fueled by drink, he supposedly shot up the walls of his room. The bullet holes are still visible today, preserved behind glass. But it seems Jesse left more than just property damage behind. Guests and staff have reported seeing the full-bodied apparition of a man dressed in a long duster and cowboy boots, believed to be the infamous outlaw himself, wandering the upstairs hallway before vanishing. Is he searching for a lost treasure, or simply stuck reliving his days on the run? But Jesse James isn't the only spirit calling the old Talbot Tavern home. The most frequently seen ghost is known as the Lady in White. She is often spotted drifting silently through the guest rooms and hallways, her form ethereal and sorrowful. No one knows who she was in life, but many believe she is a heartbroken woman waiting for a love who never returned. The paranormal activity here is classic and persistent. Doors slam shut on their own. Heavy furniture is heard being dragged across the floor in empty rooms, and the sound of phantom footsteps echoing on the wooden staircase is a common occurrence, especially late at night. Staying at the old Talbot Tavern is like stepping into a time capsule, one where you might just share your room with a guest from a bygone and much spookier era. Our final destination takes us to a place whispered about in hushed tones by locals, a place you're warned to avoid after dark. We're heading to Grandview Cemetery in Elizabethtown, and more specifically, to a spot known only as the Gates of Hell. It's not an official landmark, and you won't find it on any tourist maps. It's a specific, isolated section of the cemetery that has gained a reputation for being a paranormal gateway and nexus point, where the veil between our world and the spirit world is terrifyingly thin. According to local lore, this spot acts as a direct passageway for spirits, and not all of them are benevolent. People who have dared to visit at night describe a profoundly unsettling experience. Strange, unexplained lights, often described as floating orbs, are seen dancing between the tombstones. Shadows seem to move and stretch on their own, untethered to any physical object. The feeling of being watched is overwhelming, a heavy, oppressive presence that makes the hair on your arms stand up. But some encounters are far more physical. Visitors have reported the sensation of being grabbed, pushed, or having their clothes tugged by unseen hands in the suffocating darkness. They hear whispers carried on the wind when there's no one else around, and some even claim to have seen dark, humanoid figures standing among the graves, only to disappear when a light is shined on them. The experiences are so intense and frightening that many who venture to the gates of hell leave completely shaken, vowing never to return. It's a stark reminder that some places are sacred to the dead, and perhaps they are best left undisturbed. From the tragic echoes in the halls of Waverly Hills to the sinister energy lurking beneath them. Nightclub floor from an outlaw ghost who never left his tavern to a cemetery gateway that may lead straight to the underworld. Kentucky is a land of profound beauty and bone-chilling terror. Its history is written not just in books, but in the haunted landscapes and buildings that refuse to let their stories die. So, the next time you find yourself driving down a quiet, winding road in the bluegrass state as the sun begins to set, remember what we talked about tonight. Remember the stories, the legends, and the warnings. Because in Kentucky, you're never truly alone. The spirits of the past are always watching. Thank you so much for joining me on this paranormal journey through Kentucky. If you enjoyed this video and want to explore more of the world's most haunted mysteries, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to ring the notification bell so you won't miss our next spooky adventure. Until next time, stay safe and try not to think about what goes bump in the night.